Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. Let's begin with the practice question. The Western Regional Colorful Cultural Event Divya Kala Shakti, witnessing the abilities in disabilities, was organized by, the correct answer is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, B. The first ever Western Regional Colorful Cultural Event Divya Kala Shakti, witnessing the abilities and disabilities, was held in Mumbai and was organized by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment on 27th April 2022. The children and youth with different disabilities from the states in the western region such as Maharashtra, Goa, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Daman and Diu participated in the event. The British colonial government promulgated the Armed Forces Special Powers Ordinance to suppress which of the following movements? The correct answer is Quit India movement. The Prime Minister said efforts were made on to improve the law and order situation for the controversial AFSPA to be completely lifted from the northeast. The British colonial government had on 15th August 1942 promulgated the Armed Forces Special Powers Ordinance to suppress the Quit India movement. It was the foundation for 4 ordinances, including one for Assam disturbed areas, invoked in 1947 to deal with partition-induced internal security challenges. Which of the following subjects are listed under the state list in the Constitution of India? Agriculture, state public service, local government. Now, all 3 are listed under the state list. D is the correct answer. The state list consists of 61 subjects, so originally it had 66 subjects. These are of local importance, like local government, public order and police, agriculture, forest, fisheries, education, state taxes and duties, state public service. The states under normal circumstances have exclusive power to make laws on subjects mentioned in the state list. Which of the following countries is not a part of Quad? The correct answer is China. A new global security initiative put forward by Chinese president will look to counter the US Indo-Pacific strategy and the Quad according to Chinese officials. Quad is an informal grouping of 4 countries, namely India, US, Australia and Japan. Bangladesh is a member of which of the following international platforms? SAARC, Non-Alignment, Commonwealth of the Nations. The correct answer is all of them. C is the correct answer. The External Affairs Minister held talks with his counterpart in Bangladesh recently. Bangladesh is a member of SAARC, BIMSTEC, Non-Aligned Movement and Commonwealth of Nations. Quarterly Employment Survey is released by? It is released by Ministry of Labour and Employment. The Labour and Employment Ministry's 3rd Quarterly Employment Survey report was recently released. The Quarterly Employment Survey is a part of the All India Quarterly Establishment-Based Employment Survey. It covers establishments employing 10 or more workers in the organized segments in 9 sectors. GAGAN is an Indian space-based augmented navigation system. It has been jointly developed by ISRO and Airport Authority of India is the correct answer. An Indigo-operated ATR 72-600 aircraft landed at Kishangarh Airport using an approach process guided by India's GAGAN. GAGAN is an Indian space-based augmented navigation system jointly developed by Airports Authority of India and ISRO. It is first such system developed for India and neighboring countries in equatorial region. It aids during natural disasters like floods and earthquakes by sending messages to the affected people. From west to east, arrange the following islands of the Pacific Ocean in the correct order. Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Solomon Islands. The correct answer should be first Indonesia, then Papua New Guinea and then Solomon Islands. D is the correct answer here. Solomon Islands Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare insists that the agreement with China was necessary to deal with the island's internal security situation. Solomon Islands, country in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, consists of a double chain of volcanic islands and coral atolls in Melanesia. The country comprises most of the Solomon chains with the exceptions of Buka and Bougainville, 2 islands of the northwestern end that form an autonomous region of Papua New Guinea. Moving on, with respect to the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, consider the following statements. It's a part of the CAPF. Balbir Singh was the first ever chief of ITPB. So the correct answer should be both of them. These 2 are correct. Personnel of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, also known as Himveers, took part in a yoga session at 15,000 feet in snow conditions in Uttarakhand, Himalaya. The Indo-Tibetan Border Police is India's primary border patrol organization for its border with Tibet Autonomous Region. It's one of the 7 CAPF of India, raised on 24th October 1962 under the CRPF Act in the wake of Sino-Indian War of 1962. The first ever chief of ITBP was Balbir Singh. The national policy on narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances is based on which of the articles? The correct answer is Article 47. NCB seizes 50 kilogram heroin from Shaheen Bagh in Delhi yesterday. Arrests 1 person. The national policy on narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances is based on the directive principles contained in Article 47 of the Indian Constitution. It directs the state to endeavour to bring about prohibition of the consumption except for medicinal purposes of intoxicating drugs injurious to health. The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, which came into effect from 14th November 1985, made an express provision for constituting a central authority, the purpose of which is to exercise the powers and functions of the central government under the Act. Moving on, which of the following are the features of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change? It instituted a process for countries to generate and share data about domestic greenhouse gas emissions. It established a conference of the parties, and it endorses the concept of common but differentiated responsibility. So, as we see, all 3 are the features of UNFCCC. D is the correct answer. The UNFCCC was signed in 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, constituting the Foundational Climate Agreement. It entered into force on March 21st, 1994, ratified by 197 countries. It endorses the concept of common but differentiated responsibility in the climate context. It instituted a process for countries to generate and share data about domestic greenhouse gas emission, establishing a conference of the parties, a secretariat, and subsidiary bodies that oversee implementation of the convention and related instruments within its mandate. Moving on to the practice question for the next segment. Which of the following works are not of Raja Ravi Varma? Bharat Mata, Mohini, Menka with Shakuntala, Damayanti talking to a swan. So answer it correctly. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.